Hello everyone, my name is Jason, also known as the Nubian Queen. Today's video is about the update to my Ancestry.com DNA results. About a year ago, I sent in my spittle to receive my Ancestry.com DNA results, and I received them back in January 2019. Well, about every year or so, Ancestry updates their DNA results based on adding additional reference populations and things of that nature. So, they recently just updated their DNA results, and today's video is about those results. Thank you so much for tuning into my channel. Let's get into these new results. As I stated earlier, Ancestry.com updated their Ancestry DNA results. Here's what it says. It says update it over here, and click over here to learn more information. And I have that up right here. And it tells you more. I can come back to that. First, let's see what my updated results are. It says that I am 48% Nigerian, 27% Cameroon, Congo, and Southern Bantu peoples, 14% Mali, 4% Senegal, 2% Ghana, 2% Germanic Europe, 1% Ireland and Scotland, 1% England, Wales, and Northwestern Europe, and 1% Sweden. And my additional communities down here have also updated. They updated earlier in the year to being Alabama, Georgia, and South Carolina African Americans, and also early North Carolina African Americans. Which, as you see, my previous results, as I will show, are 95% African, and it still shows me as being 95% African. They just shuffled around some of these. One other thing that changed is that on my previous results, I had a 1% Indigenous American. That's gone, and now it's replaced with 1% Sweden, which honestly I can understand because it was such a small percentage anyways. That one, I do know that I have Indigenous American ancestry. It just may not be enough of my ancestors to show up in my current results. Another change was the previous results had Ireland and Scotland as 2%. It looks like they separated Ireland and Scotland, reduced it to 1%, and added England, Wales, and Northwestern Europe. Which, if you look at the map, is really just England and Wales. I'll go into more detail in a moment. So here are my previous results from when I first did my Ancestry.com DNA. I was 40% Cameroon, Congo, and Southern Bantu peoples, 33% Benin and Togo, 13% Ivory Coast and Ghana, 8% Mali, 2% Germanic Europe, 2% Ireland and Scotland, 1% Nigeria, and 1% Indigenous American, North Central South. So, I don't know if you can see the difference here. A major difference I saw is that I went from my largest group being Cameroon, Congo, and some of the Bantu peoples to being Nigerian. So here it says I'm 48% Nigerian, and over here it says I was only 1%. And here it says I'm 27% Cameroon, Congo, and some of the Bantu peoples, and here it says I'm 40%. So that's a major difference I saw. Like my Mali increased from 14 to 8. Senegal, I don't think was actually even over here. Germanic Europe stayed the same. And Ireland, Scotland modified a little bit and added England. And then Native American, as I said, or Indigenous American, is gone and replaced with Sweden. So I was wondering why such a large change in particularly Nigeria, and Ghana, and like and Ivory Coast piece is gone, and like where the Benin and Togo, like it's gone. I was wondering where this went. So if we go over here, let me maximize this. Go over here. Just see here. Of course, your DNA doesn't change, but it says that science does. So yeah, how my estimate changed? That's what my old question was. Like, how did it go from you know such a from 1% Nigerian to 48% Nigerian? So I opened this, and it says how might it change, and this tells you about new regions and stuff like that. Um, um, but let's go to the latest changed. DNA reference panel. The reference panel is made up of DNA samples from people with long family history in a single regional group. Okay. So why would it change? In their last update, they say they had over 16,000 samples in our reference panel that let us divide the world into 43 overlapping regions. Our reference panel now has more than 40,000 samples, and we can divide the world into 60 regions. So there's more regions, so it's more precise, which is good. But of course, those are mostly centered on Europe. Just gonna have to say. Um, so let's say why did some regions, some percentages change so dramatically, so drastically? Closely related ethnicities have been better resolved. So like Germany and France is more divided, so that changed. Um, they say the Americas was split into 11 different regions, and this may be why the indigenous peace of mind disappeared. But then it says Africa presents special challenges. Of course, you know, Africa always is a challenge. It says people, ooh, go away. It says people from Africa are the most genetically diverse on Earth. Yes, we are. This makes Africa a tricky place for ethnicity estimation because you need lots of DNA samples to account for all that diversity. With updates to our reference panel, our ability to identify our Nigeria ethnicity region has gotten much, much better. This means that some people might see increases or decreases in the percentage for Nigeria. That also means that the part of your estimate that might now be assigned to Nigeria used to be assigned somewhere else, probably a nearby region, which means changes there too. So, if you go back to my results and compare with the previous one, the Cameroon Congo changed significantly, but really Nigeria is what I'm looking at. 48% from one. And what's going? Benin and Togo. Benin and Togo. Let me pull up a world map so you can see. So here's Benin and here's Togo. And guess what's here? Nigeria. They're quite literally next to each other, and specifically, many of the people groups are in both countries, in all three countries. The Yoruba, which is down in this area generally, or come over into Benin. I think some Hausa come over into Benin, but especially up here to Niger, and stuff like that. So okay, so it looks like all of the 33% that was Benin and Togo has been assigned to Nigeria now. Let's look at some of my other changes. Cameroon Congo. Ooh, this went smaller. Cameroon Congo went from 40% to 27%. So if we look over here on this map, this is the Cameroon Congo of the Bantu peoples region for Ancestry, and this is the Nigeria region. So it looks like some of my Cameroon Congo percentage went from Cameroon Congo to Nigeria. So what it was previously. So that's 33% plus what's that? 13%. So that's 10, 43, 46%. Now Ivory Coast, Ghana. Where did it go? It went from 13% to 2%. So let's see. And now we have Senegal. And then Mali increased from 8% to 4%. Well, if you look at the maps, I'm going to surmise that 11% change in Ivory Coast, Ghana went to Mali and Senegal, and a little bit went to Nigeria. Because if we go back to this map, so this is Benin, Togo, here's Ghana, and here's Cote d'Ivoire, and here's Mali. So that makes some sense. And then Senegal is over here, which is next to Mali. Now let's go look at the regions. So I'm gonna zoom in. So this is the Mali region, which now overlaps with a lot of Cote d'Ivoire. So that explains why some of that Ivory Coast, Ghana disappeared and went to Mali. And then Mali also overlaps with Liberia, Sierra Leone, and Guinea. And then the Senegal, the Gambia, and I believe that's Guinea-Bissau, I want to say. Yes, Guinea-Bissau and Port of Guinea. So that's the major change and why it changed so much. I would love for Ancestry and the other DNA ancestry providers to further refine this Cameroon, Congo, and Southern Bantu peoples. Most of the other ones that do your autosomal DNA, which compares your entire DNA to other reference panels' entire DNA, they use the same or similar blob. This is a couple 100 million people here. Quite literally. So yes, those are the main changes in my Ancestry.com DNA ancestry estimate. So those are my updated Ancestry.com DNA results. It's quite interesting about the significant change in my African piece of my ancestry and how Ancestry.com and 23andMe and MyHeritage DNA, Family Tree DNA all have difficulties with assessing African DNA. And they all attribute it to Africa being the most diverse DNA-wise of all the regions, of all the continents, which is true. However, they are all very fine-tunedly separated for Europe. I just find that interesting. So thank you so much for watching my video on my updates. Again, this has been Nubian Coon, and please like and subscribe, and I look forward to talking with you again. Bye.